Give thanks nice unto the Most High Jah Rastafari, King Selassie, the first Emperor of Ethiopia, Giant King. Is I, Emmanuel the vegan, Nyabinghi, bringing you another winter warmer today, which is the much maligned and underrated butter bean and carrot soup, which go very well together. Wholesome food, vegan food for the winter. So I'm going to take you over to the ingredients and then take you through the method, the cooking and stuff, and then show you the dish finally in a soup bowl at the end. Ja. Okay, so we've got some carrots there, some onions, some garlic, some coriander, some black pepper, some Japanese miso paste, which we just used to thicken the soup, some vegetable stock cubes in there, just a few new potatoes to go in there, some thyme, coriander and black pepper, and that's it basically. Over here we've got a pot full of butter beans which I soaked overnight. These I'm going to hard boil for an hour now and then drain them and use clean water to add the ingredients to. In another pot I'm going to fry the onions and garlic for the base of the soup and then add everything out as we go along. Just one ingredient I forgot, and that's some cayenne peppers there that I've chopped up. So onions and garlic peeled and chopped up and washed. The potatoes are washed and scraped with my hands, but I'll be cooking them in their skins. So in this pot I've got the carrots that are peeled and chopped, so I'm going to boil those in clean water. In this pot the butter beans are now on the boil, but they'll need a good hour or so before they're soft enough. And in this pot I'm going to put some palm oil and I'm going to fry the onions and garlic for the base of the soup. So the onions, the garlic and the chilies are all frying in some palm oil there. The carrots are boiling in some clean water there, and the water and the carrots will both be added to the soup. Meanwhile, the butter beans are going to be boiling hard for about an hour. So as soon as they've boiled and they're ready, we can continue making the soup. One ingredient I forgot, a bit of all-purpose seasoning to the sauce. So the carrots are ready for mashing now. The butter beans are way over 3/4 of the way through. So I'm going to mash these now, and then I'm going to add the bouillon to this pot, and then drain the butter beans and add the butter beans to this pot with more clean water, and then add the condiments, at which point I'll bring you in again. So the cost of this one won't be very much. Carrots are about, well, less than £1 anyway, and just the dried butter beans, onion, garlic and the condiments. So I'd say probably £4, £5 maximum, and this is going to feed me today and my 2 sons that are with me, jobless Marcus Garvey, who isn't with me, and probably there'll be a bowl or 2 left over after that. So as usual, good value for money, vegan, Nyabinghi food, food for life, and life for food. So having mashed the carrots now, give that a stir. I'm going to add the a couple of those could use a bit more mashing. If you're making this for a family, i.e. with children, then obviously leave out the peppers if they're not used to peppers and what have you. I'll just add that to carrots. And stir. And now I'm going to drain the butter beans, add them to the pot with some more clean water, and then add the condiments. Okay, so I've added the hot water to the carrots and the base of the soup. So I'm just adding these 5 potatoes now. And I've got a couple of vegan stock cubes here, which I'm just adding to the mix. So I've got a tablespoonful of thyme here that I'm adding. Tablespoonful ground coriander, which incidentally goes very well with carrot, and about half a tablespoonful of black pepper. And I've got some all-purpose seasoning here, which I'm just going to sprinkle some all around. Oh, okay, so we'll call that a teaspoonful, although it shouldn't have been that much. Anyway, so last of all, I've got some miso paste here, which I use to thicken any soup that I wish to thicken. Doesn't really alter the taste very much. I'm putting a soup spoonful of that in there. I'm going to give that a stir and leave that to half boil for a further 15 to 20 minutes should do it. So I'm going to bring it to the boil first and then turn it down to half boil and see what's happening after 15-20 minutes. Ja, Rastafarian. So there's the finished soup. So that's carrot and butter bean with just a few potatoes thrown in still. Very wholesome food, Rasta food, Jaja food, by the much underrated and much maligned butter bean. So do more with butter beans. It only seems like only island people deal with butter bean, but butter bean are the king bean as far as I'm concerned still. Ja, Rastafari. We'll show you it in a bowl. There you are. That's the soup on the table. Ital food, Rasta food. Ja, Rastafari presiding over my table as always. Selassie.